Welcome back, aliens. My name is Navin Reddy, and let's continue with this series of Python. Now, we have talked about what is Python and we have talked about how to install Python on your machine. It's time to start with the actual stuff, right? And we are waiting for this. Now, the step one would be, of course, you need to open your IDE. Now, if you remember, in the installation, we have installed two softwares. One is the interpreter and second is your PyCharm. But we'll not be using PyCharm in this tutorial. We'll start with the basics so that you will be having that hands-on experience on IDLE as well. So let's try it out. So what I will do is I will open my IDLE, and in that, so this is your prompt, okay? So this is your prompt. This is where you will type your code now. Before going for the actual code, we have a question here. Why do we code and why do we write a code? Now think about this. We are living in a world where everything is done with the help of computers, right? Example, if you want to send an SMS, if you want to send an email, you don't have to do that. Your computer will do it for you if you instruct it. Example, nowadays we have this amazing thing, we have Siri on iPhone and then we have Google Assistant on Android phones. You can ask them to do things for you. Example, you want to set an alarm, you can, they will do it for you. But then how they understand what you want to say? So you need to talk to a computer. And if you want to talk to a computer, you need to understand their language, right? And the language which computer understands is binary code, which is zeros and ones. Now that means if you want to talk to computer, you need to talk to them in terms of zeros and ones. Now it is not practically possible, right? Of course. So what you have to do is you need to use a language which both will understand. And of course, we all know English language, but computer will not understand plain English, right? Because we have some grammatical stuff here. So what we have done is we have created programming languages. Now those are not actually, example, we have high-level languages. Now those are not exactly a binary code and they're not even exactly same as English. They are somewhat, they have their own protocols, they have their own grammar which we use. So when I say English, so we have level 1 English, then we have level 2 which is programming language, and then we have level 3 which is your binary format. So you understand English. So what you will do is you will learn a programming language, let's say Python in this case, and then you will write a Python code which will get converted into binary format which a computer will understand. So if you say, hey computer, do something for me. So let's go with a very simple stuff here. Let's say I want to add two numbers. So you will say, hey computer, 2 plus 3. A computer will say, okay, 5. But then how do you talk to a computer in this case? So we are using Python and then we have an interpreter. In fact, in Python, it's one of, as we discussed, it's one of the easiest language, right? So what I will do is I will say 2 plus 3. This is the simplest task you can do on Python. So I will say 2 plus 3. It works. You can see we got 5. Yay! So this is working. What else? What about subtraction? We love mathematics, right? So let's apply all the arithmetic operations here. Let's try 9 minus 8. It should be 1. And we got 1. So yes, subtraction also works. Okay, what else we can use? Can we use multiplication? Let's try 4 into 6. It should be 24. Yeah, that's right. We got the answer. So yes, addition, subtraction, multiplication works. What about division? Okay, let's try. So when I say division, it should be 8 divided by 4, and I'm expecting answer to be 2. Yeah, it's 2. But hold on, there is a difference here. You can see when we say 2 plus 3, we got 5. 9 minus 8, which is 1. So when you subtract two numbers, we are getting that number, right? And specifically, these are integer numbers, right? We all use integers. But then when you divide a number, it is giving you a point value. Now this point value is also called as float numbers. So we have integers and then we have float. Now float stands for floating point representation. Okay, but why it is 2.0? Because when you divide numbers, you might get point values, right? Example, when you say 5 divided by 2, you will get 2.5. Example, let's try it out. So if I say 5 divided by 2, you got 2.5 and you want that 0.5 value, right? That's why it converts your number or your output into a float value, because they want to give you the exact value. But what if you don't want it? What if you want only the quotient part? Example, when I say 5 divided by 2, you want only 2. You don't want 0.5 value. So we can do that. If you want only integer output, so we don't want float now, we want only integer, you can do that. You can say 5, instead of giving 1 slash, you have to give 2 slash. Now this is also called as integer division, or it is also called as float division. So when I said run this code, you got 2. So this is working, yeah. Okay, what else we can do here? Can I do combination of this arithmetic operation? Example, let's say 8 plus 9, yeah, and then subtracted by let's say 10. Is it possible? And let's try. So it works, So you can have multiple operations. But then we have to follow grammar, right? If you say 8 plus 9 and then subtract, you forgot to type 10 there, it will give you an error which is invalid syntax, and that's why you need to follow the grammar as well. So when you learn a language, you need to follow grammars in the same way. In programming as well, you have to follow grammar. Can I use those bracket stuff which we used to use in mathematics? Yes, we can. So example, let's say we have 8 and then I am adding that value, but then I also have a value which is 2 into 3. Now, which one will be done first? Of course, the multiplication part, right? But then what if you want to do it? Oh, let's try this first. So you can see we got 14, which is 8 plus 6. But what if I want to say 8 plus 2, which is 10, and then 3? So in that case, you need to use brackets, right? If you remember the BODMAS rule. So I will say 8 plus 2, which is in the brackets, and then into 3. So you can see we got 30. So yes, this also works. So when you multiply, so if you give a bracket, it will be solved first. Okay, this is cool, right? Now what else we can do here? What if I want to find a power of, or you can say exponent, so let's say if you have 2 raised to 3 or 5 raised to 6. How can I do that? So I will say 2, I want to find cube of 2. So in that case, I can say 2 into 2 into 2. Yeah, we can do that. But then what if you have 2 raised to 10? You cannot simply type 2 into 2 into 2 in 10 times, right? Because this will give the right answer, which is 8. Otherwise, you can say 2. You can give double star and 3. So double star or double asterisk symbol simply means power of. So when you say 2 raised to 3, so this is 2 asterisk 3. And you can see we got 8. So that's how you have to do all this operation. So now we know how to add two numbers, how to subtract two numbers, and then multiplication, division, floor division. What else we can do here? In fact, we can also do modulus. Now what is modulus here? Let's say I'm dividing two numbers, which is 10 divided by 2, or maybe 3 in this case. Now it's a 10 divided by 3, it will give you 3, right? But then we also have a remainder here, which is 1. So when I say 10 divided by, which is the integer division, you got 3, that's right. But what if I want the remainder part of it? So I would say 10, and we have to use a special symbol here, which is modulus, and we'll say 3. You can see we got 1, which is a remainder. So when you say 10 mod 3, you will get a remainder, which is 1. Okay, this works, yay. Now, you know all the operators, right? Now what else we can do here? Now till this point, we have discussed about, we have discussed about two types. One is the integer type, which we have done here. And then we have talked about float. What other types we can have here? Can we have string? You know what a string means? It's a combination of characters. Example, my name, Naveen, is a string. Python is a string. Camera is a string. YouTube is a string, right? So we have to use, can we use string here? We can, let's try. So what I will do is, whenever you want to use string, you should always use single quote or double quote. So let's try. So I will use my name first. So I will say single quote and Naveen. So we have to use a quotes here. So you have to say Naveen and enter. You can see we got the same value. Naveen, we got Naveen. Now there's another way of printing these values. You can also print by providing some functions. Oh, that's a new word now. Now what are functions? In Python language, we have certain functions which we can use. And one of the function is print. Now what print means, or what function means is, it is a set of tasks which you will be doing. So example, in print, which is inbuilt, it has certain tasks which it will do. You just need to call it. Can we define our own functions? Yes, we can. So print is an inbuilt function. We can define our own functions as well. So you can do all these operations in one function. You can do that. We'll see that later. How do we define our own function? But time being, let's use print. And whenever you have a print, you normally give this round brackets to pass any parameter. Let's say if you want to pass something to the function, you can do it here. In this case, I want to pass my own name. So I'm saying print Naveen. So you can see it works. We got Naveen as a value there. Okay, that works. Now, if you see the difference between Naveen, the earlier command here, if you compare this one with this one, see the output. So in the earlier one, the single quote is getting printed as well. But in the second one, it is only printing my name. And that looks beautiful, Okay, let's try to print something else. I will say print. And here, I want to print, let's say, Naveen's laptop. So Naveen's laptop. It should print Naveen's laptop, right? When I say enter, oh, we got an error. That's weird. Now, what went wrong here? Now, if you observe here, we have single quote as a starting one. And then we also have a single quote here. So that means that is one string. And then this thing, which is S laptop, it is not as a part of that single quote. That's where the problem starts. So you cannot simply have single quote anywhere, right? So how do you solve this problem? To solve this problem, we have two solutions. The first one is, instead of using single quote, you can use double quotes. Example, you can say print, and in double quotes you can say Naveen's laptop. Now so starting and ending is done with the help of double quotes, you don't have to worry about the single quote in between. And if I say enter, and you can see we got the output as Naveen's laptop. Now what else, what other commands we can do? So this thing works here. Okay, let me think about this. What if I want to print double quotes in a statement? Let's say we have print, inside double quotes I am saying Naveen laptop, but I want to print laptop in double quotes. Can I do that? Example, the output should be Naveen and laptop, but then the laptop should be in double quotes. We cannot do that because the first double quotes and second double quotes will be getting ended here. So this is my first string. What about this laptop? Now in that case, we will be using single quote. So single quote and end with single quote. So you have to make sure the string part should be different from the part which are inside. So if inside we have double quotes, then outside we should be using single quote, right? That makes sense, right? So you can see we got the output. But here's a trick. What if I have both in this string? Example, let's say we have print. I want to say Naveen's laptop, and you can see we have both now. We have double quotes and we have single quote both. That's where the problem starts. So what you will do now, because if I say enter, you got invalid syntax. In that case, we will say single quote Naveen's, and then in double quotes we'll say laptop. The issue is with this S, right? This S is coming before a single quote. So we have to tell your Python, hey Python, can you just skip that special meaning of that single quote? And the way you do that is by giving a slash. So when you say backslash, it will make sure that it will ignore the special meaning of that single quote. So when I say enter, it works, So these are the basic fundamentals which we're talking about. Now let's do some fun here. So again, we'll continue with the print later, but we have some fun thing here. What if you want to print Naveen 2 times, or you want to print Naveen 3 times? Can I do that? Of course you can, right? You can type Naveen and then Naveen again, or you can also use a plus character here. So if you want to concatenate two strings, so we have two strings here, right? We have Naveen and we have Naveen. So when I say enter, so you can see we have Naveen and Naveen, so we are combining it. What if I want to print Naveen 3 times or 10 times? In that case, you can play with numbers as well. So you can say 10 into, in single quote you can say Naveen and say enter, you can see we got Naveen 10 times, yeah? So Python is fun actually, you can play with it, you can do some experiment. That's amazing. What if I want to print this one? You tell me, okay, you try to guess it, will it work or not? Just pause the video, guess it, let me know in the comment section if it will work or not, and then we can continue. What I will do is I will print something. I would say C:/ I have a directory called docs/Naveen. So pause the video, think about it, and let's see what output you're giving. Let's try and say enter. Oh, this is weird. We were expecting it will print C:/docs/Naveen, but unfortunately it is giving a new line and then Avin. What's wrong? Now /n has a special meaning in Python. What is that special meaning? And the meaning is, it means new line. So /n means new line. And that's what is happening here. It is printing C:/docs, and then it comes to a new line because of /n. It is saying Avin. Okay, what I want to do is I want to print it as it is. How do I do that? It's very simple. You just need to cancel the special meaning of that thing, right? So you want to print this string as it is, which is also called as raw string. So I want to print this one as a raw string. In that case, you just specify R before the thing, and you will say C:/docs/Naveen. So we are printing this stuff as it is. So when you say R, it means raw string. Don't try to convert it. That's what you are saying to Python. Hey, don't try to convert that /n into a new special character. And say enter, it works, yeah? So everything is looking good now. So I hope you enjoyed this stuff which we are doing here, playing with this stuff. So in this video, we have only talked about how can we use certain operators and then playing with printf. In the next video, we're going to talk about how to use variables. Now, if you are enjoying this series, let me know in the comment section about your thoughts. And if you have any questions, you can put that as well. I do read your comments, by the way, and so that I can answer that in the next video. And if you are liking my videos, so click on the like button and do subscribe to the channel for further videos. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye-bye.